All right, so now I'm gonna tell y'all the story of how I quit my job, the day I quit my job back in 2010. So I'm hitting a milestone for my blog and celebrating 10 years. And in honor of my 10th anniversary, I'm going to tell you 10 stories of things that happened over the last 10 years. So make sure you're subscribed to this channel because this is going to be a 10-part series and you don't want to miss a thing. Also hit the notification bell if you want to make sure that you're notified for all of my videos, not just maybe like the 1 or 2% that YouTube wants to show you. So in 2010, I worked at, what did I work in 2010? I worked at HSBC. I was a business banking specialist, so I worked with a lot of business clientele. I would do things like, try to get businesses to do commercial mortgages, to bring their money over to me at HSBC, like, forget about Bank of America, come to HSBC and give me your money. I didn't say it like that, it's way more posh and professional. But at the time, this is 2010, when did the market crash and the mortgage crisis in 2008 was like a huge thing. As a matter of fact, I'm not trying to say I'm Nostradamus. Anyway, I'm not trying to say, but I low-key predicted the mortgage bubble and meltdown because prior to 2008, I was at another bank that I was involved with selling mortgages, and it was around the time when they were doing like stated income and the subprime mortgages. So it was like I was seeing people getting mortgages left and right, like dang, you get a mortgage, you get a mortgage, you get a mortgage. And I was like, but these people's credit scores are like 200 and we're making up their income. Like, what's gonna happen when it comes time for them to pay the mortgage? But anyway, nobody wanna listen to me. I predicted the bubble. Anyway, so the bubble happened, 2008. They was letting everybody go left and right. Every time there was a big layoff, they were gonna lay off a lot of people, and every bank I worked at had a time where they were like doing like mass layoffs. And I'd be sitting there like, please don't lay me off. I need my job so I can buy bags and shoes and stuff, and so that my mama don't think I'm a failure. But but then it got to a point where I was realizing like what kind of like severance packages people were getting, and I was like, sign me up. But unfortunately, I was good at my job, so they never fired me. So but after the big meltdown and they let a lot of people go, things started to get a little tight. So now you're doing the work of like many people because there's less people there, and the bank don't have money to hire more people. So I was like at the point of almost being like fed up. So in 2010 is when things started to like really pick up for my blog. I feel like, brands were paying more attention. I was getting more invites to events, but a lot of the invites I was getting because in New York, in the early days, a lot of the events were, people who worked for magazine editors and bloggers would be at the same events. So I kept getting invited to these events, and I couldn't go because, I had the job. The job was like, keeping me from going to events. So back in 2010, October, around this time, it was Columbus Day weekend, well, actually Indigenous Peoples Weekend. And I came back to, to the day after the Tuesday, I came back and I sat down and I'm like, why am I here? And I texted one of my friends like, yo, I think I need to quit this job. Like, why am I even here? And my friend was like, go for it. So I typed up my resignation letter, proper and everything. And I printed it out, but then I didn't actually give it to my boss till that Friday because I was a chicken. Because I don't know why I was a chicken because I've quit jobs, many times before then. But anyway, I went into the office and I sat down with my boss. Now my boss was an older gentleman. He was very stern, but he was also very fun and, understanding and things like that. When it came to work, like he was like no nonsense, but at the same time like a father, like almost like a father figure. Like it's good to have a boss like that sometimes. But anyway, so I walk in his office and I'm like, I quit. No, but I walk in his office, I give him my resignation letter, and he paused because he's reading it. He paused and then he looked at me and he's like, you know what? I can see, he asked me what I was gonna do, and I said, well, at the time, I was writing for magazines and freelancing, and I, told him I was very vague about what I was gonna be doing because I didn't want people to be like, oh my God, you're gonna run a blog? You're like quitting this job to run a blog? But anyway, I was very vague. I'm always very vague when it comes to what I do for a living because I don't want people over my business. But anyway, so he's like, you know what? I can see you doing fashion and, all that other stuff. and you know, I wish you the best and you're gonna be great in what you do. And I was just like, yo, I could have like cried and like held on to this man's leg because like I said, I've quit a bunch of jobs before then, but that was the most positive job quittation I've ever experienced in life. Because usually, you know, you quit a job and they're like, we ain't like you anyway. Bye, peace, 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 peace. You ain't even got to do 2 weeks. Here's your check, go. But like I said, like that man just like that blessing I felt was, blessing was that blessing from my boss was what I felt I needed to, you know, a little blessing for my future trajectory. Trajectory is always a hard word to say. Thank you so much for watching this video. Now don't forget, this is a 10-part series, so make sure you subscribe to this channel and you hit the notification bell so you know when new ones upload. Keep the party going. Make sure you follow me on social. That will also be in the description box, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys. My career is to talk about people's finances all the time. I don't necessarily like talk about my finances, but you know, whatever, we'll make it quick because this is a question that I'm sure people have about, you know, because I've been working, blogging full time since 2010 and we're now in 2017. So like 7 years of that, it's like, yo, how'd you do that mess?